I think the main focus is going to be on what we're doing. Obviously, we have to be mindful of their situation and the fact that they are a very good team, and that since they have nothing to lose, sometimes those are the most dangerous teams. But if we can go in the right mentality, the right focus, continue to build on the performance that we've had the last few months, I think this is a great opportunity for us to get ready for the playoffs.
Now, you've been a part of two Supporters Shield winning sides, neither of which made it to MLS Cup, let alone win it. Why do you think it's such a challenge for teams that do win the Supporters Shield? Is it better maybe to be solid in the regular season and peaking at the right time, kind of like this team is?
Yeah, since 2012, the moment I got here, I've yet to go to the MLS Finals. So I don't necessarily know if looking at those seasons are the direct comparison to every sort of experience, but the one thing that's different about this year is how we've grown as a team. I think when you look at each player as an individual, there's been moments and experiences that have allowed us to grow as persons, but then when you put it together as a collective, there's something about the entire season and the ups and downs and the really high highs and the really low lows that have carved out a personality that seems to be stronger than any I've seen before. So it's that sort of perspective that makes us think that we can do something special this season.
What other special things would that happen? Because obviously if you remain in first place, you go back to the CONCACAF Champions League next year again.
Yeah, we know that's in play. I think more than anything, we like to just continue to be on a good run of form going into the playoffs. It's not necessarily one of these things where we want to keep the streak or this or that. It's just we want to be playing well, and we want to have the sort of confidence going to permeate not only through the locker room but the entire organization, so that people really understand that this team can do something, and that we feel internally that we can do something special, and that anything less is going to be very there's going to be a lot of regrets.
Now, because you've off the international break and you've had some time to rest and relax mentally as well, have you at least think about how big this streak has been since it got started?
No, not really. It just feels like we haven't played for a while. I know it's only been one weekend, but still, when things are going so well, you just want to continue to play. But we've had some very intense trainings, and I think that the guys are sharp. So we know what's at stake. We know what's at hand. And as long as our mentality is right, there's no reason for us to think that we won't continue the way that we've been playing.
You mentioned that this break felt long, even though it was just the 1 week. What's the challenge with rallying these guys now to try to reach that level that you left off of the last time you hit the field?
I think that's the special feeling going on right now, is that it's not necessarily about rallying. Everyone's ready. Everyone understands what's at stake. We had a great team meeting today, just rehashing some of the experiences that's allowed us to learn. And as long as we continue to be committed to that learning process, we think that we have a solid foundation moving forward, no matter what the challenge is, no matter what the adversity is, to not only meet it, but rise above it.
With Columbus coming to town this Sunday, you were there, obviously, part of that team that lost them in the Eastern Conference Finals. What do you think has been the biggest change, a team that's now eliminated with 2 games to play, as opposed to the team that was so strong at the end of last year?
That's a good question. I think you look at last year and all of it changed in 9 seconds. So our record, which gets lost in the entire process, was 3-1. We conceded 2 goals. Unfortunately, it was the one goal in the beginning that changed the entire complexion of the series, and it cost us. But when you look at what we've gone through this year, even if you couple it in with last year and the way it ended, we've taken every single failure and tried to find the opportunity in it. We try to find the learning or the lesson in it. And I think it's those lessons that that are going to allow us to succeed. You look at the way that we started, so you look at the way it ended last year, the way that it started, and even with us not closing out games. Instead of looking at each failure and thinking, okay, this is something that can be discouraging, or this is something that's going to be the end of us, we're thinking, all right, you know what, we can get better. This is a great opportunity for us to really understand that there's a certain bit of humility that's required in this process, and as long as we're committed to it, there's no reason for us to think that we can't come out of it. And we have come out of it, and we've come out stronger, and it's that sort of mentality that makes us think that we are a different team than last year, that we are going to be stronger, that we are more capable, that we are more intelligent, and it's those type of things that really leave us optimistic going into the end of the season.
What's it like when Alex shows off his brand new Lionel Messi boots that he got selected?
You know, I'm not a what?
You didn't know that?
No, I had no idea.
Messi selected some up-and-coming young players, and Alex was one of them.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I had no idea. I haven't even paid attention. Honestly, as a goalkeeper, I don't look at the shoes. I just look at the gloves, right? No, but that's awesome, because Alex, and not just him, there's been so many young guys this year that have been asked to contribute more than they ever could have expected. You look at the beginning of the season, and even an experienced young player like Sean Davis, there's no reason for him to think that he was going to play as much as he did, yet he was a huge part of this team's success. So whether we're talking about Alex, Sean Davis, Tyler Adams, Brandon Allen, all the guys that are contributing and doing well in USL and coming out and doing well for the first team, you really start to see the cultivation or the integration of young talent into the process, and sooner or later it's going to culminate in years and years of bright talents turning into key contributors, turning into leaders, and I think that only bodes well for the future of the organization.